How you doing? Hey man, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you, man. Nice to meet you. I'm originally from Gainesville. Yeah, I graduated from UCF. Oh, okay. He does this thing on Netflix.
Is that a Surface Pro?
That's a Surface Pro. Oh, yeah.
How do you like it?
I like it. I like it because it's better than what I had. I had a laptop. I was holding on to that for like 4 years. Around this year, it started messing up. Like, yeah, it's time to upgrade. I tried to use it like, you know, like a car. You want to ride the car till the wheels fall off. So I was trying to hold out the laptop till it gave out.
Now, this thing's holding on for a little bit. I'm gonna need to replace it probably this year. It's an HP something or other.
I had an HP too. It lasted a long time. It gave me about 4.5 years. I just looking for I need something. I ain't want no Mac. They charge it too much for that. I had it in school gave me a discount. I got a good discount. Like $900 discount. Going down like 4 or something. I could have resold it if I wanted to.
See, that's the thing about Microsoft. They have so many partnerships with so many schools.
Yeah.
And you know, like when I was in school, they didn't really tell me the advantages you get with that.
I always try to look to be as well informed as possible.
But the one thing I did take advantage of is because I was on the computer programming degree at Valencia, I had free access to Windows, everything. Windows Server, Windows 8, Windows XP, Windows Vista, whatever I wanted is there. And then on top of that, I had access to like Microsoft Visual Studio.
Good evening. How's everybody doing tonight? Good. All right, again, my name is Antoine McRoy. I'll be your host for tonight. I have the pleasure of bringing up Matthew Shaw, Senior Director. Matthew was born in Southwest Florida to Jamaican parents, so he's first generation American. Matthew graduated third in his class and graduated with honors. Matthew attended the University of Central Florida, where he met his wife, Ashley, of 10 years, and they're both alumni from the University of Central Florida. Matthew graduated with a degree in micromolecular biology. Ashley graduated with a degree in journalism. Matthew has a big heart for the youth, and Matthew is very active in the community. One of Matthew's favorite quotes is by Billy Graham, courage is contagious, and when one man stands, the spines of others stiffen. Now, without further ado, Matthew Shaw.
There you go. All right, how's everybody doing tonight? Good. Awesome. Well, I appreciate everybody coming. I know that there was a storm that everybody was trying to be like, oh gosh, I-4 is shutting down, it's blowing up, all that. Anybody heard of the news about I-4 shutting down, all that? Y'all stay here, that's good. I thought that it was going to be really thin tonight, so welcome, good. You guys are definitely focused in here, so that says a lot about you guys and kind of our process and what we do. So welcome, how's everybody doing? Good? Okay, all right, awesome. To let you guys know that I'm not a professional speaker, first off, so you're going to hear some ums or uhs, okay? So just know that right there. Antoine told you a little bit about my background. Okay, I got to get back in the box. Am I in the box right now? Okay, I'm not somebody that likes to be in the box, but we're webcasting as well, too. So I actually grew up in Southwest Florida, like Antoine said, to Caribbean parents. My parents from Jamaica. So in that culture, when you finish school, you have to become a professional. Doctor, lawyer, something big. They want to be able to brag on you, obviously, right? My son's a doctor, my son's a lawyer. I don't know if you guys have any parents like that, right? And they want you to be successful as well, too, okay? So that's what brought me up to UCF. I studied micromolecular biology, so that's a pre-med track. While I was at UCF, one of my good buddies, his dad was in the field, said, hey, you should probably intern to make sure you know you want to do this, right? Never thought about that. I was really just taking classes. So I did intern for one of the largest chiropractors in Central Florida. Typical chiropractor sees anywhere between probably 50 visits or less a week. They were at about 250 visits when I got there, and I helped them to double. So they got a little bit over 500 visits a week. So to be honest, I was a little selfish. It was because I was thinking, if this was my practice, how hard would I work? So that's one of the reasons why we helped them double. So they looked at me very good. And he was looking at bringing me on as a partner, or even selling me the practice when I finished school. A couple things that really changed my trajectory. One was his wife, and I gotta say she was a great person, but she would probably say to me at least twice a month, "Are you sure you want to do this?" All right? And she would look at me like that too, and I'm like, "Why?" Tell me. And she would tell nothing. But I found out. He finally sat me down and he said, "Hey, before you go off, I want to let you know the deal. I want to be fair to you, because I did some good work for him." Said he was over $500,000 worth of debt, right? Aaron, could you imagine $500,000 worth of debt?
Kind of.
You can? Okay. I was like, wow, where did you go to school? Your position? Okay, gotcha. So it was kind of interesting. That's quite a bit. You're talking to a guy in your young 20s. I'm like, okay. And I'm like, but we got all these patients, so talk to me, right? So he told me he loved what he did, which was good, but the insurance laws are going to be changing. If you know anything about insurance laws, things change, which meant, AKA, you're going to be able to bill lower than what I'm billing now, which means it's going to be less lucrative, right? I'm doing research. I'm finding out a lot of these guys, ladies in the field, they're not getting out of debt, late 50s, early 60s, right? And I'm like, I'm not sure if I want to take that trajectory. Kind of a side note, one of my friends who I actually had her come and intern with me, her and her husband are now in over $700,000 worth of debt. Yeah, right? So I'm kind of getting to see a lot of the lifestyle, that I kind of had a chance to avoid. One reason that I saw this opportunity was because of one of my fraternity brothers from college. We weren't really super close, but we knew each other. And he reached out to me and said, "Hey, I know that you're kind of looking for some options. Have you ever looked at, doing business online, industry without inventory type of thing?" I hadn't, but I took a look at it, kind of fell in love with the industry, and that's kind of why I'm here for you today. So not a physician, but I guess I'm a physician in a different way. That's how I like to think about it myself, right? So that's a little bit about my background, but I don't know if that relates with anybody, because I don't think anybody here was planning on becoming a doctor. Anybody? So, yeah, that related with nobody. Okay, you could have told me that. Okay, nobody. Gotcha. All right, but so maybe you're here. Everybody's here for a different reason. You might be kicking butt in corporate America, which is fine. Kicking butt, taking names, doing well, but maybe you kind of feel like you hit a ceiling, or maybe you're not really getting appreciated enough in what you're doing. There's different things. Maybe you just want to increase your income, create some income outside of what you're doing for a safety net. Everybody has a different reason why they're here, and it's always good to know the win-win. So there's a win-win, and you want to write this down. This is good. Why there's a win-win for you, we're able to create income for you as well if we decide to bring you on, all right? And we're creating income for the companies that we work with, okay? I'm gonna get into some details about that tonight as well, okay? So that's the win-win, creating income for you if we decide to bring you on, and you get to create income for these companies as well. So before I get into that, I'm gonna talk about kind of our life real quick. Just had a baby recently, all right? My lovely wife is in the back. He's about 6 weeks old right now. It's interesting that we're kind of talking about this. Usually when I see people talking, they talk about the kids. I used to be like, shut up. Talk about, whatever you gotta talk about, but I'm that guy now. I have a baby, so don't tell me to shut up. If he's cute, okay? All right, there he is, right? Isn't he cute? Did you let I show you that picture? So cute. All right, so he's cute here, but he's also judgmental. Yep, very judgmental. So I'll tell you, this funny thing about this right here, my wife was playing music and she was dancing in front of him, and this is how he was looking at her. Here's the funny thing. That's my mom's face. I'm like, wow, you got my mom's face. When my mom was judgmental, that's exactly the look. So genes are a crazy thing, aren't they? Anyway, he's a cute kid. So there we go. So that's us. That was about 6 weeks. What, 6.5 weeks? 7? Okay. Yeah, about that. Okay. Seems longer for you, I know, okay. But that was when we just had him. He's so cute and everything. I went around the floor just to double check to make sure he was the cutest baby on the floor. And he was, all right. I tried to say, this is the cutest baby you've ever seen in here, right? And they were like, yeah, pretty close. I'm like, I'm taking it. Cutest baby you've ever seen in this hospital, period. Okay, so this is the cutest baby that's ever been born at Advent Health. Okay, there you go. Okay, anyway, so I had to say that's a great story. Awesome. All right, so let me talk about. That's not what I'm going to talk about, but it's kind of cool. It's new to us, so we're excited about that. So what I'm here to talk about is really a business shift that has happened, which really brought me to the industry and what's been happening, across really the world. Does anybody know these companies? Raise your hand if you know these companies or you've done business with these companies. Right? Right? It's kind of almost like a dumb question, right? The reason why I say that is, who knew about these companies 25 years ago?
I wasn't born 25 years ago, so that'd be kind of interesting.
There you go. Well, no, okay, there you go. Exactly. A lot of these companies, they weren't even thought of 25 years ago. And they've come and they've smoked companies that have been in business for over 100 years. I'll give you an example. Sears. You guys probably don't know who Sears. You probably don't know who Sears is right now. You know, right? You know, Blockbuster. You know, all these companies that used to have a good hold. Toys R Us. You know, all these companies that used to do so well. Guess what? They got smoked by these companies. And by the way, Amazon used to do the fulfillment for Toys R Us, right? Yeah, gotcha. Exactly what happened. So let me ask you, what do these companies make? Amazon, what do they make? I guess acquisitions now, right? They don't really make a whole lot. They do distribution. Facebook, what do they make? Advertising. Well, they use our information, right, to advertise to us. So they don't really make anything. Interesting. Uber. Now, is Uber an IT company or a taxi company?
Taxi.
Taxi? You sure? But it's web-based. Exactly. You don't even know. They're both. But they're more of a taxi company, but they're both because they don't own any taxis. Interesting, right? Airbnb is the number 3 hotelier in the world. They don't own any hotels, right? And then Lyft is pretty much like Uber. You know, if your Uber doesn't work, you use Lyft, right? So that's the business shift that's taking place. And what we call this is industry without inventory. If you want to write that down, industry without inventory. That is really what I saw, and it made a lot of sense to me, right? So let's kind of talk about it. So we don't necessarily work with these companies, but I like to use them as an example of what's going on and what the shift looks like in today's market. All right. So a couple things. Amazon has almost no stores. Uber has almost no cars. Alibaba has no inventory. I talked about Airbnb. Netflix is not a TV channel. Bitcoin has no physical coins. Anybody invest in the Bitcoin? Anybody? Y'all laughing? You did? Yeah. I invested in Bitcoin. I'm not gonna lie. I said it's going up. You know, invested when it was low. It went up to about 17,000, and I was like, well, I think I quadrupled my money, and I was like, I had a feeling it was gonna dip. I'm like, I'm pulling my money out of this. The next couple of days, it went all the way down again. I'm like, thanks, see? I should be a professional investor, right? Pull your money out of Bitcoin. Oh, it's too late now. Okay, all right. But the funny thing about this is it's no physical coins. Isn't that crazy? Or physical money. Not even a card or anything. That's what's kind of crazy about that. It's kind of interesting. Anyway, so let me kind of talk about what we do and some of the companies that we work with, right? So there's 2 types of companies that we work with exclusively. Our primary companies, these are exclusively online, right? They tend to pay us more. They pay us anywhere between about 3% to 25%, right? And a lot of these are just kind of the everyday items that you don't really think about, but you're using. You go to the store, you get them, you don't really think about it, right? Our secondaries, these are our partner stores and services. So a lot of different companies, you probably know a lot of these companies, Disney, Office Depot, Nike. They're our partner stores and services. They pay us anywhere between about 2% up to 25%. So there's a lot of different companies that we work with. You see, we work with one of the largest cleaning lines in America, Energy Lines. Nutrilite is one of them that we work with as well too. We work with the Amway Corporation downtown Orlando. You probably see that big building. So a lot of different organizations that we work with to partner up with and drive business, right? So these are just some of them, and I kind of talk about how that comes together. But we like to work with our primaries more because they pay us more. Does that make sense? That's why we said primary. They pay us more. Primary. Okay, got it. Which to me is important, okay? All right? So let's kind of talk about the distribution cycle. So this will make sense really how we got to where we got, really with e-commerce or industry without inventory. So here's a typical distribution cycle. Anybody take economics class? Ashley took it? You want to do this? Pardon? Okay, all right, well, you said. I'm messing with you, I'm kidding. So typical distribution cycle, pretty simple. Goes from a manufacturer. So think about a Nike shoe, right? Did you guys see the Nike factory in Altamont? Y'all see that one? What's up? I'm just kidding. There's no Nike. I was joking. It's probably no. It's a factory. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking. There's no way. Probably in China or Japan. Well, not China. Probably Japan. Let's say Japan, because China's not so good right now. But manufacturer, right? It probably made for like $5 or so. Now, as it goes to the distribution chain, broker, wholesaler, retailer, all the way to the customer. Roger, correct? Mm-hmm. What happens with that Nike shoe as it goes through? It goes through this traditional
cycle.
Business cycle. Yeah, what happens?
It gets made, it gets promoted, and then
I'll give you a hint. What happens?
Oh,
It starts here, maybe for say $5. What do you think happens by the time it's here?
it's like $100.
$100, right?
Yeah.
And that's for just
Sometimes
some.
200.
Yeah, that's for regular Bobo Nikes, right? Not for like the LeBrons, or you know, the good stuff, $300-400, right?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So that's what happens with traditional business, right? Retail, that's what's happened, right? So really, what we do, we bring on the organization, we teach you how to become a part of that shift and really monetize what's going on in the marketplace right now. Okay. So I'll give you an example. The second slide I showed, it was really, okay, have you guys heard of these companies, the Amazons of the world, right? Amazon is actually what's called a virtual office. I'm not sure if anybody knows that, but has anybody looked at or set up a professional seller's account through Amazon? You have a professional seller's account?
Well, only for one time. I was
Okay.
trying to sell a few things.
You were, okay, so talk to me, how does it work? What was your monthly fee for that as a professional seller for Amazon?
I actually don't really recall. It was like 5 or 6 years ago.
Okay, all right. So it's between $39.99 to $49.99 a month, right? And that's without you selling anything, right? You have to make sure you put together a distribution cycle. So if you don't have that, you might have to go to India or know some connections over there as well too to get all that put together, right? So all that, and I think that's like over $400 a year just without selling anything or having any distribution, right? And that's a virtual office as well. eBay, anybody shout on eBay? All right, eBay is a virtual office as well too. I mean, there's some fees. They have PayPal fees and all that as well too. But that's also a virtual office. It's a little bit different. You're kind of a courier now. As you wrap your stuff up, you got to take it and all that. That's not what we do. But I just wanted to give an example of what some virtual offices are, because we do business through virtual offices as well, right? So a virtual office with us, it's just a one-time $180.74. If you want to write that down, you can. To renew, it's $62 a year. So it's a one-time thing, right? And I kind of talk about what comes with a virtual office as well too. But I like to take off that word virtual and put physical, right? Ash, talk to me. If you took out, we made this a physical office instead of a virtual, what do you think is going to happen to the price of that? What happens there?
It's gonna go up because you have like actual cost for the building itself.
Okay. Throw out a number. What do you think that building cost is going to be?
Depends on the size of the building, but it would go up
A few thousand?
Well,
Okay.
for you.
Okay.
But for them, it would go up, depends on how many customers you have.
Sure.
And the margins that you want to achieve.
Absolutely. Okay. Gotcha.
It could be as simple as $200 to as much as $300.
Gotcha.
Just
Okay.
depends on you.
Got it. Donald, I know that you had some business before. If that was a physical office, what do you think that number would be?
On the market, 800 to 1,200, depending on the size.
Okay, that's low, man. Go to Crane's Roost, that's like $3,000 to $4,000 a month rent, right? The doctor that I work for, his rent was $5,000 a month, right? Before paying anybody else. That was the rent, okay? Yeah. So with 180.74, what could you get in a physical office? Anybody know? Gary, you say no, nothing? I mean, you probably get a cheap chair, a pleather chair, not the leather one, but a cheap pleather chair. Maybe some paper for the printer, right?
Microsoft Office.
Paper.
That digital little clip, that little paper clip you get on.
A digital paperclip. Gotcha. All right. Okay. That's disheartening. Okay. Anyway, but for the digital paperclip, you can get a virtual office, right? So I like to say that, and it's kind of in jest, but it's interesting how business has changed now, right? People have virtual offices, and they're doing just as well or better than people that have a physical store, right? So let's kind of talk about it, right? What comes with a virtual office for us? One is warehousing. So this means that your garage is not your warehouse. It's not that. Okay. Number two, distribution is already taken care of. There's distribution all across the U.S., all right? Customer service. Who has ever had a bad customer service experience? Raise your hand. Ash, did you get your money back?
It took a while.
Oh, it took a while, but you got it back?
Yeah.
All right, okay. Gotcha. Nicholas, I think you said you raised your hand. Did you get your money back?
Yeah, they lowered my rates.
Oh, they lowered your rates. Okay, gotcha. So, did you get your money back, Donald?
Probably not.
Probably not.
And it's been more than once.
More than once. You know, you want to burn the place down, don't you? Give me my money back, or I'm going to come and burn the place down, right? Yeah, I get my money back all the time, so I'm good. But anyway, so the good thing is we have our customer. I don't tell them that, though. I'm nice about it, okay? But they know that. Okay, so you know. Okay, so customer service, right? So the good thing about that, all that's taken care of. We have a 1-800 number. You're not fielding questions or calls or anything like that, which is huge. Any accountants? People like doing numbers? Man, there's usually one person that says, oh, I'm the number person. Okay, all right, nobody. Accounting, which is very important, nobody wants to do, but accounting takes place through the virtual office. All that's calculated automatically. Very, very important piece, but you don't have to worry about that, okay? Website, I have a web a developer here, and I don't think he even likes building websites, but that's important as well. We have apps, Android, iOS. I don't know if Android people, iOS people, okay? Used to be a big beef back in the day. Like, you know when you send videos from iPhone to Android, it looks all blurry, and then when you do vice versa. Anybody does that?
Yeah.
You know that's not necessary, right?
Yeah.
They can talk better than that. They're just trying to get you to buy the other phone.
Yeah.
Come on. You take this expensive phone to the other expensive phone, it comes out blurry still? Come on. Anyway, I know better than that. They're just trying to get you to buy another phone. Anyway, so you have apps, Android, all that kind of stuff. So all that, so you can do business on your phone. Okay, so your phone could be the virtual office as well too. So I want to kind of cover that, right? So let's talk about this, how money's made. I think that's what we came here to talk about, correct? Yes, no?
Sure.
Okay, good, all right. So 2 ways initially here, using and recommending through your virtual office. And I like to use a good example. The first way of using, and I'll kind of get to that as well too, right? But before I do, let me kind of talk about how we're paid. There's a PBS, what we call a performance bonus schedule. And this is how we get paid, right? It goes from 3% to 25%. I mentioned that in the beginning, with our primary companies. And then over here on the left side is points and volume, 100 points up to 7,500 points. Now each product that you have has a different point value, right? So I have this little thing in my hand, it's a clicker. I got this through one of our partners, Best Buy, and I got the points for it, which equals money as well. And I'm gonna use it anyway, right? So, cool. First thing, personal use. What we teach you how to do is create 100 points in volume. Now, let me give you an example here. The average family, they say, spends anywhere between about 200 to 800 a month. I think that's low now, but think about, the money that you're spending, it has power, right? Everybody thinks about money as, like, negatively. Okay, so if I stop shopping somewhere, I'm boycotting it. That company is gonna lose money, right? But think about the opposite. If you actually say, you have a group of friends and say, hey, let's go to this one restaurant, what do you think is gonna happen to that restaurant? They're gonna make money, right? And guess what? You keep on going. And what if that restaurant says, hey, we're going to pay you to come? Would you go back?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's in essence what it is. But personal use, it's a lot of stuff that we're using on a daily basis. All right. Ash, do you brush your teeth? Okay. Got you. Donald, do you wash your clothes? Right. I know that you guys are like looking at me like I'm crazy, but it's a lot of stuff that you're doing anyway. You're now what's called a prosumer. You're producing while you're consuming. It's kind of a newer term, right? Traditionally, people are producers or they're consumers. With what we're doing, you can become both. Producing while you're consuming, combine that word, called a prosumer. So I talked about that personal use piece, right? The second piece is recommending, 15 points in volume. Donald, you look like you like to eat at nice places. What's your favorite restaurant?
Carrabba's.
Carrabba's, okay. Gotcha. Tell me a little bit about it.
Carrabba's?
Yeah.
It's an Italian chain.
Italian chain, okay.
So if you like Italian food, then pretty much everything's good on the menu.
Okay, what's your favorite thing on that menu?
Probably the chicken brine or the shrimp spadino.
Okay, all right, the shrimp spadino. That sounds fancy, doesn't it? Okay, all right. Let me ask you, how much did you get paid for talking about that?
They have a bonus club, so I don't get paid much. But
Don't get paid, okay.
Eventually, you get some free
Eventually.
meals. There's
Okay.
some coupons that come through.
Gotcha,
You decide
okay.
what they do.
All right, so you get a little thing, but not really a whole lot, right?
No.
So, but guess what? Working with us, that's why I'm using an example of recommendation. These companies pay us. So when you create 100 points and that 50 points, what happens, 150 points, you get on the bonus bracket, and it's $108. Did Carrabba's pay you $108?
No problem.
Did they pay you $108?
Oh, they did not.
They did not,
I paid
okay.
them $108.
Okay, gotcha. Roger, if you found $100 on the floor, would you pick it up?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Like, man, there's $8 inside. Yes, all right. Aaron, what about $100 on the floor? Would you pick it up?
Yeah.
She's like, absolutely, of course. She's like, stop asking me dumb questions. Yes, I will. Okay? And I take that $8 as well, too, okay? So this is just kind of, I call getting on first base. This is not where we're going to end because obviously there's more to life than $108. But guess what? For a lot of stuff you're doing, you're getting paid for. Your money is becoming power right now, okay? So let's continue this, right? So the second piece of this is we're teaching team leadership through coaching and mentorship, right? So I like to be straightforward with the people that we're potentially looking to bring on. What we do does not work for the average person, okay? So if you're average and you're lazy, this is not going to work. Just got to tell you right now. And some people are like, well, why would you say that? Well, because when we get people started with us, we're going to be putting a lot of time, a lot of effort to teach people and coach people leadership skills and really how to drive business to the virtual office. And we're going to be spending time and we're going to be creating some good money, right? But on the other hand, not just all doom and gloom, if you do decide to come on board and we bring you on board, we do have some training. One of our organizations that we work with, Leadership Training and Development, a lot of different resources that we have was actually started by 14 millionaires. There's online mobility tools, curriculum to enhance leadership skills, seminars and conferences. Some of my personal coaches and mentors, one of the reasons why I become successful is because I've learned from guys who have come before me. That's one of the biggest things. I love to tell you that I'm the man. Roger was like, hey, I heard that you're the man. I love to tell you that. We've done well, but see, when you're talking to other guys that they're like, yo, look at my Ferrari or look at my Bentley, I'm like, oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah. Well, I thought I was doing good, but I don't have that, right? And the funniest thing is, the most humblest people that you'll meet, right? You wouldn't even know that was a car. And that's the car, they don't even drive that one all the time, right? So I'm kind of rubbing shoulders with these guys. So I'm like, okay, I'm doing okay. I got a lot more to go, right? But we've done some things so we can teach people how to do it. So very important piece to what we do. Probably one of the most important pieces is this coaching, mentorship, and our leadership program. So there's a lot of personal, self-help that we work with as well too. Self-help had got a bad name for a little while. I guess it's coming back as good, but don't you want to help yourself? You should, right? Okay. So I thought. All right. So let's continue this, all right? Very important piece, right? So as we're talking about putting teams together, right? So we're going to start with a team of 3 here. With the virtual office and creating 150 points in volume. Roger. So when 150 points happens, what happens here?
Make
$108, right?
Mhm.
So what you're going to realize, it's not $98, right? This is not one of those things where there's some headhunting fees. You get somebody started with you and they get $98. You get $10 off of what they did, and then that other person does, and it's a pyramid, and the guy at the top makes some money. And okay, just so I say that because there's a lot of stuff out there, right? Our partners, Apple, Best Buy, Michael Kors, Macy's, they would not work with us if that was the case. Just gotta be sure, especially Apple. I think the lawyers are better than yours. Okay? Yeah, especially Apple. They don't work with nobody. Okay, anyway. So kind of going through that. That's why I just kind of like to talk about that. But $108. So how you get paid, there's some vats of leadership bonuses that are available. This volume calculates up. So 150 times 3 and add another 150 here, which it signifies you. And we get about $560 coming back. You're at the 9% level up here. So you're jumping up the bonus bracket. Extra $500 coming back. Aaron, talk to me. I'm sorry, by the way, you're in the example seat.
It's all right.
Okay, good. You seem like you're okay with it. That's why I came back to you. Extra $500 coming in. What's that going to do for you?
That's almost right.
Oh, almost. Wow, where do you live? We're moving over there. $500.
Expensive apartment.
Woo!
by choice.
Oh, okay, gotcha. You must have a couple roommates.
Oh yeah. I have a
Gotcha.
roommate.
Well, I got a new roommate, and he's not paying any rent.
Mm.
So that's
We gotta
good.
fix that.
It's my son. It's my son. That's my son. We need to pay rent. Okay. That's funny. Roger, an extra $500 coming in. Talk to me.
It's extra $500 I ain't had before.
Okay, gotcha. Donald, anything with extra $500?
I got 6 kids.
You got 6 kids. You know what that is? That's gas for the boat. I know you say you like the boat, right?
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
Okay, and I got some toys as well. There's some gas.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. For the boat. It's not cheap. Gas for boats. It's not cheap. Just so you know. It's not. Okay, gotcha. And the maintenance, you got to maintain it and all that. Anyway, so the reason why I talk about $500 is because Great Recession, 2008, 2009. I don't know if anybody knows about that. A family that lost their homes, multiple families, if they were making an extra $500, guess what would not have happened to their house? They would not have lost it. With an extra $500. Well, think about the value of $500 now. Take $500 out of your check. How does that feel? Just think about it. You okay with that? Now everybody's like, nah, man, that's a lot of money. All right, but we're not stopping here, but there's some value in $500. It's not bad, right? It's not the end of the world, but some good stuff. So let's continue this, all right? We're talking about putting teams together, and this is something that we coach heavily on, so we will show you how to do if we decide to bring you on here. So now it's a team of 6 here, same 150 points, 6 times 150, now you're at 1,050. So if you look at the bonus bracket, it's moving up here at the 12% level, almost $700 coming in, right? I'm gonna continue the example, definitely moving up here. Same size team, but we have more volume flowing through your virtual office, right? This is generated online. All this can be tracked through an app, through online, a link, all that kind of stuff, right? So now 750 times 6 plus the 150 over here. Look at the numbers, 4650. You're jumping up the bonus bracket at the 21% level. I don't know if anybody does investments, but who's getting a 21% kickback on their investments right now? Nobody. Okay? Because if you know somebody who can get you 21%, you better use them all the time. Right? I think the market is like between 6 to 9%. Somebody that's really, really good, but people are not usually getting that, right? So that's good. That's 21% coming back to you, flowing through your virtual office. So that's good. 2209 coming, Roger. That coming in on a monthly basis outside of what you're doing.
Right.
What's that going to do for you?
That's extra money I can invest to make more
Okay.
money.
What are you going to invest to do?
Stocks.
Stocks. Any stocks in particular?
Apple.
Apple.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
They growing.
They're growing. Yeah. Well, they
Well, they
already
big,
growing,
but
but
they getting
yeah,
even bigger.
they're on the high side. I mean,
Yeah.
they dip a little bit and get some more. Donald, what about you? Extra 2,200 coming in?
I have 6 kids.
Ah, he comes back to the 6 kids. 6 kids, man. I'm gonna catch up. I just got one, but we're working. We're working on it. Yes, baby. I decided to say that. Love you.
They all grown.
They're grown.
We'll find something. We'll
Oh,
spend there.
that's okay. Then one of them wants all that money. Eating up all that. Okay. Let's somebody have to talk to Dominic. Talk to me. An extra $2,200 coming in. What's that gonna do for you? Other than buy a nice jacket. I know you can tell
It'll be a
you.
lot.
A lot? Okay.
School supplies.
Okay. That's a lot of school supplies. Where do you go to school? Okay, gotcha.
Not for college.
Yeah.
You got out one.
Yeah. I got some money set aside. He'll be all right. Gary, talk to me. An extra $2,200.
Oh, probably just investing.
Invest?
Yeah.
Okay.
Make more off of it.
Gotcha. Elliot, what about you?
Make more money off of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Everybody's so boring. You want to do something fun? Okay. All right. Well, I'll increase some money here. So now I'm using this example here. Excuse me. 1,800 points here. This is still 6 teams, right? Plus you is over 10,000 points. So you've topped the bonus bracket here at 7,500 level. So, you might be saying, well, Matt, you're talking about money. Does it work? Can it come together? How am I going to be able to do it? Who can teach me how to do it? Well, the guy that's standing in front of you talking right now, the short guy, he's done this. Okay? So guess what I'm saying? My wife and I, talking myself in third person, right? My wife and I, we've done this. So if we decide to bring people on, we can coach and teach people how to do that the same as well too, right? The average for folks completing that is between about 12 to 18 months. I've seen people doing as fast as 3, but that's not something that I promote. But I'd say on average about 12 to 18 months to complete this project right here. Let's talk about it. Extra $4,000. Donald, I know you have 6 kids, but is that breaking out or is that still talking about the kids? Still talking about kids at 4,000?
Oh, no, we're probably on vacation at this.
Vacation now. All right, where you gonna go?
Maybe Grand Cayman or something.
Oh, Grand Cayman. Okay, that's a nice little spot. Roger, what about you? Look like you wait for me to ask. $4,000. That's you coming.
I might take a flight to Dubai.
Dubai?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, gotcha. Good, that's good stuff. Gary, what about you? You've invested already. What you doing now?
I'd have to take a trip as well.
Where?
Yeah. Dubai sounds awesome, but I'd probably have to go to the UK.
Okay, to UK. Okay, gotcha. Nicholas, talk to me.
I'll probably take my girl out to wherever she want to go. Like, we'll just go somewhere in the world. Like.
What, man? That was pretty smooth. Like, take my girl wherever she wants. Is she here? She's not even here. That was good right there. You should have recorded that and sent it to her. Remember, I'm thinking about you, baby. I'm thinking about you. Okay, that was pretty smooth. I would do the same thing. Actually, I did the same thing. I was like, yeah, okay. I got pictures to prove it. But so here's one thing that's kind of funny. I talk about money, right? And everybody's like, okay, you're talking about money. First of all, yeah, that's what we came to talk about. But the reason why I talk about it, Benjamin Franklin had a really good quote. He said, people die at the age of 25 and they're not buried to the age of 75. Isn't that crazy? All the way back in the day he said that. It's still true today. You know why? Because when people make a certain type of income, if you hit about 60, 65,000, if that's what you're making, that's kind of where your dreams stop. You're making 100, 150,000, 200,000. A lot of times your dreams kind of stop there. Now when you start to get to about $500,000 and up, you can kind of see $1 million. So now your dreams kind of go up. There's kind of a spot where it changes, But usually, a lot of times if you're under a certain amount, you're not thinking about what I can do. You're thinking about the day-to-day, right? What are all the dreams that have died with inside of you because all you're thinking about is how much I make, that's all I can do? What dreams did you want to do? What did you do when you wanted to do when you were a kid? Are you doing that? Are you doing anything close to that? And I'm a big proponent of that as well too, Why did your dreams die? Think about it. And a lot of times it's because money. I'll give you a good example. So my brother-in-law, I'm going to call him out here. He used to drive a Corolla. Nothing wrong with the Corolla, okay, by the way, if anybody has one. I used to have one in college, okay? It ran really, really well, okay? So I asked him, hey, man, have you checked out that new Lamborghini, new Ferrari? He's like, I don't want those type of cars, man. I said, first off, have you ever driven one? And he's like, no, I have. I've driven one. I know I like the Ferrari 458 Italia, and I know I like the Ferrari California. I know I like those. I've driven, okay? So I'm going to get one. So I know that. But he hadn't. I'm like, how do you know you don't like it? I don't need cars like that. I kind of believed him, but then I didn't. How I knew he was lying, a couple years later, he got a better job, and he got a Mercedes S-Class. And you guys know what the Mercedes S-Class is? It's one of the higher-end Mercedes. So did he really not like cars? He was lying to me. How I saw it was because I came back to my parents' house, and I'm like, whose S-Class is that in the driveway? Whose S-Class is that? She's like, oh, it's your brother-in-law's. I'm like, he lied to me. I gotta talk to him. I called him out. I did. But anyway, I was just saying that to say is, a lot of times that's kind of where our brains stick, is the type of income that we're making. So start dreaming a little bit, right? Matt, are you trying to motivate me? I hope you want to be motivated. Okay? I hope so. If you don't know, want to be motivated, I don't know what to do. All right, so told you, trips. Did take my wife on some trips. When you hit the top of this bonus bracket, our partners, they like you because you're driving them a lot of business, okay, through the virtual office. So they want to send you on some trips. This is our first all expense paid trip. This is a cruise to, maybe you remember? Where we went on this cruise?
The Keys of Cozumel.
Keys of Mexico, right? So anybody can go on the trip, but this was all expense paid, and they gave us a couple $100 a piece of spending money. So I was like, babe, go ahead and get your nails done. I got you, it's on me, right? It's pretty cool. Funny story there. When we were there, the ladies rented a Jeep. There was a few people, and the guys rented some scooters, right? So we were on the highways in Mexico, and she usually doesn't get like this, but she was so frantic when we got to a stop. She said, you guys are going so fast. You guys need to slow down. I'm like, babe, calm down. I got this. She said, you guys are going like 80 miles an hour. I'm like, it's a scooter. Beep, beep. And she was like, no, seriously. But we weren't paying attention to the speedometer. So as we're going back, I'm like, we are going 80 miles an hour on a scooter. This is crazy, right? Somehow when we got back to the States, there was a nice black scooter that went 80 miles an hour in our living room. Not sure how that happened, but it was there when we came back. I'm not sure. Yeah, I bought one, I go lie. It was kind of cool. I'm like, I didn't know scooters go 80 miles an hour, right? I got caught in the rain one time without a helmet and without glasses. Yeah, I sold it. It's horrible. It feels like somebody's slapping you in the face. Going 45, 50 miles, it feels like, no, literally, somebody comes and slaps you, and that's what it feels like when you're no helmet, no glasses. No, it's bad. Think about it. 45 miles an hour you're going, and rain's hitting you in the face. Think about it. Yeah, I want you to feel that because I felt it. Okay? All right, so this is our second trip here. This was actually the Bahamas, right? It's Bahamas. That's actually Bahamas before the hurricane. If you look at her face, she's so happy. Here's why. Because my wife, she actually doesn't like me saying this, but she's kind of big at work. She runs a whole department. I went to her job one day and I was like, "You run the whole department?" Like I went in there and she ran the whole building, the whole bottom floor. I'm like, who am I married to? You run the whole floor? Wow. Okay. Anyway, so she does that, and she's usually the person that has to plan everything. And I know with work she has a lot of stress, and this was kind of cool to see her face that she was just stress free because she didn't have to plan it and didn't have to worry about money or the trip or anything. It was so cool. So cool.
Looks stress free.
Yeah. No. This this like the $75 picture that you never buy on cruises. I bought it because I had the money. It was cool. This was another trip we took. I can't remember where that one was from, but there's a couple different trips that we got a chance to go on, which is pretty cool. When you hold that level for 12 months, the 7,500 level, or 7,500, and that's going through your virtual office, some cool things really start to happen. You get all expense paid trips. This one is a 5-day all expense paid trip, and you get a bonus of $15,000. And they kind of go in different places. So depending on what year it is, sometimes it goes to Universal, to Orlando, and there's people from up north that come to these trips as well too. But you get a one-time bonus of $15,000, and this is yearly when you hold that. Who's ever gotten a $15,000 bonus before? Anybody? Usually some military folks got it. Was it military got $15,000? Usually military folks get a good bonus. You didn't?
I have it in civilian world.
Okay, gotcha. This civilian. Okay, gotcha. What'd you do with it? One-time bonus. What'd you do?
Probably to kids.
Okay, you said the kids. Gotcha. Okay, I got the kids. There you go. Roger, a $15,000 bonus. What would you do with it?
What I do with that? I couldn't even tell you right now.
Okay, gotcha. All right. It's all right. It's not PG-13. All right. It's all good. What would you do with a $15,000 bonus? I know what that means. It's all right. I went to college.
I'll probably travel with it as well.
You travel with it. Okay. Gotcha. Good. Ash, what would you do? $15,000.
Half of it is savings, part of it goes to my mother's home, and the other part of it goes to travel.
You guys are some nice people, man. No, seriously, that's awesome. Mother's home. That's very noble. Wow. Dominic.
I'm saving and I was thinking to buy, just put some money on the new Dodge. I love Dodge. So maybe
The Charger?
Dodge.
Charger?
Dodge, the car.
Okay. Hellcat? The Hellcat?
Yeah, that's what I like. I was gonna buy it.
Okay. Be careful. It's like 700 horsepower. Be careful. Seriously. Yeah. Have you driven it?
No,
You should.
not
Yeah,
yet.
it's dangerous. Seriously. You hit the gas. It's crazy. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Yes, yeah. So you gotta be careful. You need a plan. Sometimes you can't drive the car like that because it's okay.
Yeah.
So anybody else? Nicholas, what would you do with a $15,000 check?
Well, I don't even know. I know half of it will be some savings. The other half, I don't even know yet.
You guys are so studious. Gotcha. You know when you go to work on Monday morning with a $15,000 cash in your pocket, when bossy comes to you and tells you to do something that you don't want to do, it's okay. I'm gonna get to it in a little bit. Don't worry about it. All right. Just don't tell anybody you have the money in your pocket, but yeah, some cool things happen. Really cool. So some trips that we get sent on. One is all expense paid to Universal Studios Orlando. Right? Exciting? Huh? Trying to sell to people that live in Orlando. Okay, gotcha. Swan and Dolphin, right? Who's been to the Swan and Dolphin Hotel in Orlando? 1, 2. Anybody else? You guys should get excited then. It's nice. Go past Goldenrod, I promise. Orlando's nice. People all over the world come here. All right, I'm not stop promoting Orlando. Okay, there's other places too, but we'll talk about some of the other places. Let me kind of have fun with money here. So our we call Q12 is qualified for 12 months. So that $4,000 a month, when you multiply that by 12 months, comes out to $48,000. When you add that $15,000 bonus, it comes out to $63,000, and that's a yearly payout, right? I thought this is kind of a unique number, and the reason why. Does anybody know the median income? Bless you. The median income for Florida for a single-family household. You want to take a stab?
58,000.
58,000. Did you know that, or you just guessed?
Yes.
Okay, it's not far. About 50 to 55,000, right? And that's for 2 people working. Now listen, you might make more than that, which is totally fine, but I thought that's interesting that part-time you can create more than the average family makes a whole year working. Kind of crazy, right? So that's the value in what we're talking about, right? So this is definitely some value. Some cool stuff happens, some cool trips. Disney, Swan, and Dolphin. I'm not going to talk about that because you guys live in Orlando, don't like Orlando, okay? Fountainblue, Miami, nice spot, okay? I'm going to go past Florida because you guys are bummers when it comes to Florida stuff. All right, Las Vegas, all right? Gotcha. What happens in Vegas?
Vegas.
No, it
Vegas can
doesn't.
stay there.
No, and you're going to say that it's a lie. It'll come back to haunt you. Live your life right, okay? Live your life right, okay? Venetian, some really cool places that, you know, that we get sent on, and we're just excited. Gondola rides as well, too, man. This is a really nice hotel, Venetian, very nice. Some other spots, San Diego, Coronado Island, you know, it's one of the oldest hotels on the island. These are all expense-paid trips as well, too, with that $15,000 bonus. So I like traveling, especially when I'm not paying for it. It's pretty cool. So I always like to talk about this. Who makes 6 figures or wants to get to the 6-figure realm? Anybody? Okay, everybody? Okay. Looking at everybody. Okay, make sure everybody, all right. And the reason why I say this is because I'll be honest, when I got to this income, you know, and above, when I saw that, I was going to be a physician. So I already knew that I was going to be a higher earner, right? So when I saw 6 figures, I was like, okay, this is something I could put some time in, and I can still make the type of income that I would have as a physician. Here's the cool thing. Remember I told you I want to create some good income and help people as a physician? Well, guess what I get to do, right? When I help people hit that 7,500 level, I'm helping them get about $70,000 a year, right? So I'm helping people, but making good income at the same time. So kind of fulfill my purpose at the same time, right? So maybe I'm not like a physician that's having surgery on somebody, but I guess I could be like a financial physician and help business make money. It makes sense to me, so I thought it was cool. Anyway, so, and obviously there's some incentives for helping people within the organization to hit goals and grow. There's some more income that can be made as well too, but I kind of like to show that the 6-figure plus realm, it's very possible to be there as well too. So very, very good spot. And we're not talking about quitting what you're doing outside of what you're doing. Aaron, talk to me. You're making $150,000 outside of work. What are you gonna do?
I don't know, that's so much, I don't know.
Okay.
Buy a
It's
house
okay.
maybe?
Okay, it's okay. Brittany, what are you gonna do? Outside of what you're doing full time.
I would definitely fancy that for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ash?
Digital nomad.
Digital nomad. Okay, that's funny. Okay. Donald, what would you do? I know we got the kids taken care of, I'm hoping.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to get some investment property for when they try to come back home. I have a place.
Oh, Mr. Robert, so that you got it, so they come and live over there and not with you? Gotcha. Yeah, I get it, I understand that.
Fourplexes or something.
Fourplex, oh, that's what, those fourplex kind of nice. Okay, I get you. And the reason why I know Aaron, you said, I don't know what I would do. There's nothing wrong with that. Because when's the last time somebody talked to you about making $2,000 a month, $4,000 outside of what you're doing?
Today.
Today, exactly. Who talked to you about making $150,000? See, so guess what? That's the value in what we're talking about, right? I think out here Dale tonight, right? I think you talked to you. That's the value of what we're talking about. When was the last time somebody asked you and can actually help you do that? There's a lot of value in that, you know. So I look at that as well too. I think it's very important. So I want to end with this. Come backwards. I want to end with this here. A really good quote by, I'd like to say, one of my good buddies and friends. Not yet, he will be, but Warren Buffett, right? Good quote, man. Said, never depend on a single income. Make an investment to create a second source. Growing up, I'll be honest, I did not hear this type of information. If I heard this information, I probably would have taken a different route. Anybody hear this growing up? No. And I think that's good.
At UCF.
At UCF, okay. So not really growing up either. Okay. The reason why I think it's such a big deal is because what were we learning growing up? Shakespeare, right? Romeo and Juliet. What happened to Romeo and Juliet? They died. No, let's get more specific. Let's get more granular.
They were stupid, they fell in love, poisoned themselves, and all because their parents couldn't listen to reason.
Okay, so I didn't pay him to say. I didn't pay him to say that. I promise I didn't pay him to say that. That was an outburst. But true. There's another word. They committed suicide. Okay, suicide. Let's just say it. Suicide. They killed themselves, right? What were we learning in school? Think about it. Think about what were we learning? And there's another one. I forgot what it's called. Is it Mice and Men or something? The guy has a little rabbit and he killed by squeezing so much. What were we learning? I'm just saying. I guess if you love literary works, that's great. It's good, okay? But why don't just this is better, right? And the reason I say that is because $1.6 trillion of student loan debt. I think that's because we weren't learning this type of stuff growing up, right? I don't even know what $1 trillion is, but I know that would be different if people were learning that when they're growing up, right? That student loan debt wouldn't be there. You know, thank God that we had an opportunity that paid off all my wife's student loan debt. It was the year before last, right, babe? It kind of lined up that we had a baby at that time. So I guess if you want to have a baby, you have to watch student loan debt, right? Right? It was real cool, and she loves being debt free and all that, right? We were able to buy some cars cash. Not bragging, but we were able to create some income and pay that stuff off, get it out of our face. I remember the last time, I need to show that video one day, the last time she paid her student loans off, I thought it was going to be like a big pow when she paid it. We just went and just paid it off, and we're like, that's it? We thought it would have been some poof, right? It's just you pay it off and you don't get the bill anymore. That's still cool too, though, right? And because of the opportunity and a lot of things that we learned, we were able to do that. So, not a big shot, but we just made some good decisions, and we're able to coach some people to do very well. So, with that, appreciate you guys listening to me tonight. I'm going to have Antoine come up and kind of close the night out and go from there. Appreciate your time. There you go.
All right, everybody. So tonight we're going to go into a 10-minute feedback session. Matt's going to come back up to the front. And if you didn't connect with what Matt said about e-commerce and making money online, then let him know. He'll tell you, good luck. We want everybody to succeed in their endeavors. But if you did connect with Matthew and making money online, doing business development, let Matthew know you guys will schedule a 24 to 48-hour feedback session, and you guys will go into the details about what we do on a day-to-day basis. Now, with that being said, everyone have a good night and drive safe.
Catch him before everybody else do. So go catch him before everybody else do.
What is your schedule look like over the next couple of days?
Yeah, I'm just right now.
Oh, yeah, man.